Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Hey, what's up? This is Monkey from the band Korn.
Discover new music now.
Discover new Korn on JJO.
JJO.
Monkey from Korn, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm well. You know, we've done some shows, and it's gone really great. We did some shows here on the West Coast with System of a Down and another band, which I'm now a fan of, called Russian Circles. It's been good, man. Everybody's been showing up and having an amazing, fun time. It's so nice to see live music back.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy. We're all locked down. We couldn't do anything. We were stuck in our houses doing Zooms. We're the world completely different. And now you get back on stage. Was there a little bit of a learning curve, or was it like riding a bike? Did you get back on there like, all right, I got this. I remember this.
Listen, we had probably 3 or 4 rehearsals.
Okay.
And, these are songs that we played our whole life, basically. And it was like, okay, we got to remember, go through the songs, go through them again, make sure everything's working. But the real rehearsal is the first show, because it's like you can stand there and play, but when you start moving around and rocking out, everything goes wrong. Like strings go out of tune, cables fly out, monitors feedback, the crowd's distracting. You got lights in your face. Is a whole mishmash of sensory overload. And you kind of got to, I made a handful of mistakes the first night. The second night, it was like riding a bike.
Oh, good. Okay. So that first day, a few cuts and scrapes and bruises, but now you're back on it, doing all the cool stuff you used to do back before. I love it. 29 years later, Korn not slowing down, Monkey. Not one bit, it seems like.
We have been working the last few weeks on releasing this record, doing promo and stuff, and starting up and rehearsing. And it reminds us of just our purpose. We're here as artists to create, and we're so grateful because the fans have enabled that in a good enabling way. They've been so supportive and letting us and following us 29 years. Like you said, I can't believe that you're saying that. It's been such a roller coaster. There's been ups and downs with this through the years, but really the fans have always kind of respected us creatively when it comes to whenever we want to change it up. And we do have to, because nobody wants to paint the same picture every time. Nobody wants to do the same thing. So they've been accommodating, I guess I'll say, as far as letting us do what we want. And essentially it's the same, it's the core of the group. It's Jonathan and me and Head, Ray, it's been a wild ride, man. And now we're at a point after 29 years, we're at a point now where we're so grateful, because we know that 1 in a billion we have a chance at a band like this coming from a small town can sustain a career in this industry. Mm-hmm. So we're just kind of in this spot now where we're very grateful to still be around.
You guys were trailblazers in a genre that didn't really exist. I know you pulled from your influences and everything like that. So I think it's safe to say that Korn has a sound, and you've, again, dabbled here. You've tried here, experimented there. In making this new album, does that maybe kind of sit in the back of your head like, well, look, guys, we got to make this sound. If we don't, people are going to be, they're not going to like it. And 14 albums in, how do you maybe approach that? How does Korn kind of look at maybe the future, like you said, painting a different picture, but still giving the fans, all those people that have supported you all those years, that same Korn oomph that we're so used to?
Well, I think each of us in the band, when we play our instruments and Jonathan sings, that's ultimately Korn. There's no way around it. Even when we try to sound like something else, it still sounds like Korn. So it's good, because you're always going to have that when you hear it. You're like, the tunings. I know the timbre of Jonathan's voice. I know the tone of his voice. I know the tone of those guitars, and the grooves and stuff, that's ultimately kind of just written in our DNA, each of us. And when you put that combination together, that's ultimately Korn. Yes, we could try different production things in the studio. And we were fortunate to work with a producer this time. His name's Chris Collier. And he really, like, he could do everything, man. He is so talented. He plays the drums, he plays guitar, and really well. And he's got a great ear. He can run the computer and edit. But one of his best talents is like, you know what? I think I heard you guys play that before, like 99. It sounds like a 19, like from Issues, or that sounds like an Untouchables.
He's calling you out.
era.
He's calling you out. That's what it
Yeah, and that's a talent in itself. Can you imagine going up to Ray, who's one of the best drummers on the planet, and be like, I don't like that.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, not me. So yeah.
And he'll approach like Head and I and be like, you know what, you guys, it feels like that's been done. You guys have kind of been down that road, and it's challenging in a way that it pushes us to kind of like reach for sort of new heights at this point in our career, and that's tough to do. But I think he's been really, really helpful on that part of pushing us and getting us to, you know, we feel like we still have musical goals we want to be relevant in, and not just a nostalgic band, you know.
Madison Solid Rock 94.1 JJO. JJO, discover new music. Our guest this week is Monkey from Korn, talking to us about the new release Requiem.
If you wanted to, you guys could just obviously play all the stuff that we know and love that we were first experienced. But I always think it's especially 14 albums in. And again, the latest album, Requiem, it's got to be, as a musician, finding new ways to challenge yourself. I mean, you've pretty much played it all, Monkey. I mean, there's no real way around that. You played every riff. So I don't know. It's got to be a little tricky at times.
You know what, though? We tend to lean on each other when we're in the studio. Like on this album, there was a few ideas like I brought in, you know, like the day before, because when we're writing, we're staying in the same town and we're away from our families. We go to our studio, which is in like Central California. You know, I'd go to the hotel after our session, write a couple of things that felt good for me to play. And I was like, I don't know, man, feels really different. And that's one of the things was Start the Healing. You know, I had this idea. We lean on each other, man. We really trust each other when it comes to a creative. When somebody has an idea, we see it through, and we trust each other to see what happens if it pans out and it's a good idea, or it's a good song idea. And a lot of times we trust each other and take a chance. Something great happens. And one example like that is I remember when we released Got the Life. That song was so different for us. It was like kind of melodic and an uplifting, up-tempo type of thing. We were scared, like fans weren't going to like it. And that became one of, you know, a fan favorite, and one of my favorite songs to still play live. It's got a lot of energy, but we lean on each other. We challenge each other with new ideas all the time.
And we see that in Requiem.
That's it. I feel like it's you're getting classic Korn, but you're also getting an expansion of heavy, dark, and then also some more melodic moments that you really haven't heard us do before. We're really trying to move forward and try to touch on some ground that we haven't before. That's tough to do.
I love it, man. That is so exciting. And you gave me goosebumps when you brought up Got the Life, because that was 98, and I just got transported back to middle school, where I heard that for the first time, and we were just like, oh my God, look at it. It blew my mind. And now, all these years later, still here with you and Korn as we know it, and experiencing new music. So the stuff that we know and love, and now Requiem, the 14th album that we get to experience, and new 29 years later. For you guys, kids there in California, playing around, playing music, finding that, did you ever think it'd be this and where you're at now? 40 million, I think, records total sold for you guys, worldwide tours. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you go back to that kid and be like, hey,
I go back to that kid looking at myself in the mirror with my first guitar thinking, you know, looking at myself going, I'm going to be a rock star, you know, that little, and I think like, and and then, when I was 17, I told my mom, originally I wanted to be an architect when I was in high school. And that did, when I told my mom I was 17, I was like, Mom, I want to be in a band and I want to play music. She goes, I thought she was going to say something negative,
Yeah.
and she goes, you go and you live your dreams.
Wow.
And I was like, really? Oh, okay. Because we had already applied at a college, and there was a whole thing. And she's like, if that's what you want to do, you make sure you make it happen. Don't give up. And she kind of implanted this ambition in me. And there was never an option of failure. It was never really as far as the band goes, in our repertoire. We just kept moving forward. We're trying to push the ball down the field. I don't know. Thinking back to that, it brings back a lot of good memories, a lot of paying our dues and stuff. But I never thought it would have gone this far.
Yeah.
I kind of look back and some of the records that we've done, and but I try not to fixate on it. We always try to look into the future and see what's next. What's also. I just want to say this really quick. When 20 years, even just 20 years ago, I feel like Jonathan really kicked the door open for people to talk about mental health. And I don't think it was kind of a taboo back, 20 years ago. And there wasn't too many people talking about it. But I feel like people found a real outlet for them when they discovered our music. Mm-hmm. And that music helped them through tough times. It helped people deal and made them feel like they weren't alone. I mean, music in general, hard rock, can do that, but he takes it, 10 steps above and beyond what most singers do. And he's been so generous, let me say, about opening his heart up and to his pains and struggles that so many people can relate to. It's been an extra caveat in the whole rock star thing and selling records. To have fans come up to us and say, you saved my life, you helped me with my mom's, I lost my mom or my dad, and and it helped me. That is the real icing on the cake, man.
That's powerful stuff, man. And giving some love there to the amazing Jonathan Davis, who you've been with since the beginning, when you guys were young and looking in the mirrors going, I'm going to be a rock star. And now here you are. And I think that's awesome. Congratulations on keeping that together too. I think there's something to be said for that as well for bands. A lot of bands don't get that.
I know. I told you, 1 in a billion, man, make it this far. And we're so grateful. We've had it's a real brotherhood, it's a family, it's an extended family. So no matter what happens with these guys, we're connected on so many levels.
If you had to play a song for someone on this record, is there one you'd go to automatically? Or is this first one, just go, boom?
I would say Start the Healing, because what inspired me was to write the music end of it was the band Prodigy and how they've been through so much and they've been around for a long time. I know they lost their singer recently, and I just love how they for so long they mixed rock with the electronic thing, and they did it so well, and they're still doing it. And it inspired me to kind of write that riff. And then when Jonathan wrote the lyrics over the top and talked about healing, it just felt like kind of almost like a hopeful new beginning for the band. And that just kind of helped turn the page. And I feel like that song is just, it's different. And it doesn't go to 10. Like most songs will kind of reach 10, but this one kind of, it's a little more restrained, which is, I think one of the things we've learned how to do, which is use it only when you need it, Mm-hmm. So that is the full 1-2 punch heavy Korn. There's plenty of songs like that we have in our catalog. So, but this one we wanted to kind of just bring it back a little bit and tell more of a message,
I have one final segment. We're called Rapid Fire with Monkey. Can we do that real quick before we get out of here?
I'll do my best. Yeah.
All right. I think you'll like this. These are the hard hitting questions. Okay. Whammy bar or wah-wah pedal?
That's a tough one. For me, wah-wah.
Wah-wah pedal. Very nice. Pancakes or French toast?
Pancakes.
chili dog or corn dog?
Oh, that's another hard one. Oh, chili dog.
Chili dog. Ooh, boy. For articles only, of course, Playboy or Penthouse?
Penthouse.
Would you rather see Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Okay. Do you think Bigfoot is friendly?
I do.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that commercial?
Is it
Daryl? He's like, oh, Daryl.
Actually, yeah, that's it. That's the best representation of Bigfoot that we have out there. All right, final one. Would you rather take one punch from Mike Tyson or 100 punches from the Where's the Beef lady?
One punch, one and done.
Oh, God, but it's from Mike Tyson, though, Monkey.
I don't care. I don't want to remember it afterward.
Just knock you into another dimension. That's what it is.
I love that. That guy's a legend, man.
Dude, and at 50, I think he's 56 now, dude. He's in phenomenal shape. Like, it's insane.
And he's on a whole new, he just feels so elevated spiritually. It's awesome to see him just go through. When you think about our early days and just an angry pit bull just coming at everybody, knocking them just one after the other, knockout. And then now it's just to see him evolve into this, just a gentle creature that's just carrying it. It's inspiring, man.
Yeah. And he can still knock you out if he really wanted to. So it's fantastic.
Exactly. He's got that. But he does. He has it and uses it if he needs it.
That's right. Walk softly and carry a big stick. That's what Mike Tyson's doing.
That I say.
Monkey, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Discover new music now on the homepage of WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts.